Hey, everybody. Michelle is here. I'm taking a break from outdoors. I'm working in my yard, handling my business, and I wanted to take a break and come back and say something real quick before I forget, which I won't forget, but since I'm putting out a series of videos, I just want to get everything up so that everybody, whoever's interested that wants to listen can listen. Free will, swipe, swipe, swipe. If you're not interested, please. And I love that, the fact that we have that option, that you're not forced to do anything per se. You remember back in the day when we used to have to watch certain programs and we didn't have the variety of choices now that we have. But at the same time, you can tell the quality is missing, in my opinion. On a lot of movies that are out now, or a lot of streaming services, they may have one good movie out of 1,000, or one good program out of 100. Come on, we all know that. And a lot of people have been arguing and complaining about that because it all depends on what area you're in, your gender, your race, your age, your income, your job. That's how things are arranged now. So certain areas will not get certain programming. Okay, and people need to stop lying to each other and lying about that not being the case. Okay, if that is the case. So that's why we just want to put out things now. And when anybody wants to read it, they can or listen to it. It's still Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. Michelle is here. How about that? So again, I told you, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout because everybody and they mama and daddy and sister and brother and cousins are going to come out and say, and start, everybody's going to be talking about the same stuff. There's billions of people talking now, especially everybody has a podcast now. Okay, fantastic. Everybody has their own following of people. That's fantastic as well. Hopefully everybody's following people that they are finding some inspiration, or finding some motivation, or finding some creativity, or finding some type of value in the people that they're following, and they're just not following people so they can drain them and attempt to do some fraudulent activity on the followers of those people. Say if, for example, they're following a high-profile entertainer, and this person that's following this entertainer that has millions of followers, this person that's following this entertainer is only following the entertainer because they are trying to manipulate the people following the entertainer. That happens all the time, and it's happening now, and I know it is. So, cause and effect. You will reap what you've sown. That's actually science, by the way. And so keep that in mind. It's still theories and opinion coming out of my mouth, but it is science. You figure it out. So you're going to get people they're going to call themselves teachers, messengers, prophets, prophetess, visionaries, and all these titles of that gets people's attention usually. When someone says they are visionaries, forecasters, they can read the future, fortune tellers. That's it. People that say they can talk to the dead. People that say they can read your palms. You're gonna get all that kind of stuff coming out, and that's a natural process, really. Okay, but if we had been working on our consciousness and evolving our consciousness, we could have eliminated a lot of that fraudulent stuff long ago. Eliminate a lot of this false teaching long ago. Thousands of years ago, actually. So now, now we're at the cusp. Actually, we're at the dinner table, okay, and we have all of this these dinners and desserts and all flavors, shapes, and sizes of stuff that you can consume however if you choose to. Okay, you got to choose, per se. Some of it is fake, and some of it is real. And now you are going to have to be the one individually responsible for figuring that out on your own. Okay. And if you're not thinking for yourself, well, guess what's going to happen? And even for the best of us, even if I'm thinking for myself, I can still be manipulated if I'm not face to face with somebody. I said that already. And like I was saying in my last video, I always was focusing people on my vision that I'm a visionary. But however, my strengths are in my sensing and receiving, and that's spiritual energy that no one can touch. You can manipulate my eyes, or what I perceive by stimulating me with false images of people, false images of circumstances, false images of where people claim they are and they aren't. They claim they're in another country and they're not. That because you can easily manipulate that kind of stuff. Did anybody know that? That somebody can say they're in Europe, but they're here, and if they say they're in Australia and they can be there. They can say they're in Africa, but there's, did y'all know that? That people can manipulate that? Oh, okay. Figure it out. So you're going to have a lot of people coming forward and telling you this and that and the other. And they're going to always be the ones that claim, I was the first one that said it. I was the first one that told you this. Didn't I tell you this? I wrote it in my book. You're going to have a lot of people saying that. Saying, oh, didn't I tell you so? I told you so. I warned you guys. I did. They want to take credit for that. Everybody's going to want to take credit for stuff. No, I created this. No, I was the first one to do this. I was but you're going to have all of that going on. And want to claim ownership of stuff. Want to act as though they were the first ones who's regurgitated bullshit out of their mouths. You're going to find a lot of that. And unfortunately, like I said, if you're not thinking for yourself and your consciousness, if you don't have a high vibrational consciousness, you're going to be manipulated. Probably more so than those of us. Because, I consider myself kind of above a little bit. Am I bragging? No, I'm just saying I can sense and receive. That's a spiritual gift that a lot of people cannot have. A lot of people do not have right now, because they're too low on the vibrational, meaning that they still believe in stuff. They believe they can fly, and I would love to see them fly, but I doubt any of them can. Okay, so when you say I believe I can fly, that means you're believing in supernatural. Okay, now, and then it becomes an argument about, what do you mean by flying? And then people start getting into the argument of flying. We know what flying is. Okay, it's not Jordan going across the court. Okay, that's just magnificence and brilliancy and athletic, unlike anything we've seen. He's a human being still. He doesn't go around thinking he's some god, a God. We do that to him. We call Michael Jordan and all these other athletes gods, or some of these entertainers gods. We do that to them. They know that they're human beings, and that's all they want to be, honestly. But they want to display their creativity, like myself and others. Yeah, we want to display our creativity, but we want to be seen as human beings also, and not anything any more than that, so that we can enjoy the fruit of our labors. Okay, if I have children, I want to be able to play with my children in the park. If I have a husband or a wife, I want to be able to eat a dinner together without anybody interfering in that. I want to be able to walk down the street and not be bothered by people wanting, this and that and the other. I can guarantee you most of these people that are in these high profile positions, these high profile entertainers, mostly the ones of color, they just want to live and be able to live and enjoy the fruit of their labor. Okay? I said this before on another video, because like I said, you do sometimes have to keep repeating yourself. Like I said, I was in a Kroger's parking lot. I saw an entertainer there. I went going towards her, and I could tell she was afraid because I saw it in her eyes, because it was dark. But then when she saw what I was wearing, the type of uniform I was wearing, she felt okay. And I said I would never do that again. That was back in the early 90s. And I've been in plenty of places where I saw celebrities and high-profile people, and I went nowhere near them. Okay, purposely, possibly, but I didn't do that, and I won't do it. Anyway, so you're going to have a lot of people coming out saying, okay, I was the first to tell you guys that. Or they're going to be the first ones to say, okay, and put out this notion of how intelligent they are. Okay, how above they are over everybody else. Scientists are going to do that. Engineers are going to do that. They're going to see everybody below them. Okay, but they're going to be the first ones to get in line and say, I told you so. I told you so. So that's why we have these developers of this AI technology. They're disgruntled now. So now they want to start sharing the dangers. But I can guarantee they're going to want a fee for it. And that's fine. Everybody needs to earn a livelihood. Because chances are those developers were fired. And, because being replaced sometimes mean being fired. Sometimes it does. So chances are all of these engineers, you're going to find a lot of engineers, scientists, former technology-based people, these so-called talking head intellectuals that are going to be out of jobs. Okay, so now they're going to start wanting consultant fees, consultation fees, and some of them rightfully so. I mean, like I said, we all have to earn a living. Okay, we all have to provide for ourselves. Because who to say I won't do that as well? Okay, but I'm doing it for the benefit of humanity, and those are those developers that created this AI. If you come forward and own up to your responsibilities and knew that this was a problem, not now, you knew this was a problem 20 plus years ago. Okay, acknowledge that, take responsibility for that, and tell these people, tell humanity how they can avoid some of the dangers, even though these developers know the danger has been done. Okay, so now they're going around sounding the alarm. Okay, because they got the boot. Okay, and so now they're starting to feel. Now they're coming down and realizing how it feels to live paycheck to paycheck. Okay, to know when your next meal is going to come in. Okay, they're coming down off of that. The pyramid is dumping them all. Okay, because as soon, before you know it, these high level people in these pyramids are going to disappear. Okay, they're going to go on the ground. They're going to go in caves. They're going to go in mountains. Okay, they're going to go on islands that don't belong to them, but they claim ownership to these islands that most of us cannot get to, or even know that they exist. How about that? So you're gonna have, like I said, you're gonna have a lot of false teachers coming out there. You're gonna have a lot of people coming out being defensive, but they're gonna claim that they're gonna claim otherwise. They're gonna be defensive because people are now, the true colors are gonna shine through. Okay. The age of Aquarius is upon us, and it's gonna reveal. That's what the age of Aquarius is about. It's gonna reveal, and it's gonna expose. And no longer these false teachers, including pastors, bishops, the Vatican, these billionaires, these so-called researchers, investors, politicians, law enforcement, FBI. It's on and on and on and on. All of those nefarious activities of them doing stuff behind the scenes is going to reveal itself. And they're going to do everything in their power to avoid all of that and expose all of that. In other words, the curtains are going to be opened. Remember the Wizard of Oz? Okay, this is going to be Wizard of Oz revamped at some point. So just keep your eye on it. You don't necessarily have to respond. Like I said, you don't have to necessarily respond to everything. Just observe and watch. And pay attention. Just pay attention. Acknowledge stuff, but don't go into these back and forth with some of these false teachers. And some of these false teachers mean well. But when you start messing with their ego, meaning they take everything so personal that because they haven't released their ego from it, they are going to be fighting like cat. Honey, they're going to be fighting worse than cats and dogs. Okay, they're going to be, because they're trying to They're trying to restore their credibility. They're trying to restore their respectability. The curtains are being exposed on them. Their lies, their deception, and their manipulation. Especially a lot of these scientists. I see a lot of these scientists coming out of the woodworks, actually. And if, like I said, if they're coming out genuinely to help and acknowledge their involvement, their complicity in some of these issues that now this planet face due to greed, cowardice, lack of listening to their conscience, and say so, okay, but you're still gonna reap what you've sown. Okay, I mean, because you knew better. You knew better 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You knew better 20 years ago and beyond. You knew that certain technologies were going to cause more harm than good, but you thought it was going to be a million years in advance before people will feel these effects of that. But now you're realizing this stuff is happening now. It's happening right now. And you are going to be witnessing the destruction you caused. Okay, cause and effect. No such thing as coincidence. I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again until it gets until your subconscious is activated and you start resolving all this bullshit that is stored in your subconscious the way you're supposed to. Okay, instead of wanting to be on top, wanting to be recognized. Recognize who I am. This is what the ego says. Recognize who I am. I know what I'm doing. They're just going on and on and on, defending themselves, defending their name, defending their brand. And, it's, the curtains are opening. Okay. And it's exposing everything now. And, I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to do everything I can, just like all the rest of us, teachers and prophetess, whatever you want to call yourself, messenger. We're still human beings on equal playing field, just like everybody else. All right. And I know the people that are doing fantastic with this. I don't have to name you. You know that you are doing fantastic, and you know what you're doing, and you don't need to be told because you've had the experience. Talking head intellectuals, even though you're extremely intellectual, but you don't rely on that to get you through. You rely on your consciousness abilities, your sensing and your receiving. And, sit back and observe. I do that, but, you still have to put out some content, and I choose to do that because, like I said, at some point I'm going to pull the plug up. I'm going to pull the plug myself and not necessarily need to be online before they, or they will get me off first, or they're going to pull my plug first. That's all possible as well. So that's why you got to laugh at yourself. Can't take yourself so seriously because nobody gives a damn anyway. All right. So why not be creative about it? Enjoy the moment and do the best you can to make the best impact. Okay. So I'm going to send peace and love, everybody. Trust me. I'll be back.